Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boom Bust channel, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today, talking real quickly about this whole discussion about moving to Hammond. I have not dove into the details like I usually do. This is a case where it was so widespread through multiple credible sources that I felt, okay, this is a real thing. Now, when we're talking about deals of this sort, there's always posturing, as we saw with Arlington Heights, in terms of trying to get Chicago to make a better offer. So there's always that type of stuff. This is no way a done deal. But from the little that I did read and hear about, a couple moves happened in the, I guess, political system that make it strongly indicated that this might happen. So either way, whether it's imminent or not, we're talking about the Bears exploring Hammond, Indiana to build their new stadium. And I said this before, I've heard I forgot the term, but I've heard the people that don't live in Chicago or don't live in Illinois. I heard those fans. I get what you're saying. And Arlington Heights was one thing. This is another thing. I think that's what it boils down to. This is a legit quick video. That's what it boils down to. Like, no, I don't like it not being in Chicago area. Like, to me, I mean, downtown's great. Honestly, downtown is great. And so especially being in other places where you have a nicely situated stadium, it's excellent. It adds to the whole atmosphere. It works. It's synergy. But much like the Sox, I wouldn't mind seeing something on the south side. I'm from the south side. When I think south side, I think like 71st and lower, or really 63rd. But either way, I'm from the low ends and stuff. So like, I would love, and there's so much space down there. That was the talk with the White Sox. And even with this, like, yeah, I would love for the Bears to be down there. But even still, Chicago proper just feels better. And Arlington Heights is not one of the closer suburbs. But to me, that's still a Chicago suburb versus Hammond. And they're like, oh, how quick it look. I don't care. Look. I've lived, like I said, South Side, live South suburbs. Like, I know all about Indiana. I know all about Northwest Indiana. I know all about Hammond. I know all about how quick it is and everything else. That is not the point. I would rather have it further away in Arlington Heights than across state lines. State lines is a whole different thing. So this big argument, I don't know every single city, but this whole argument, oh, well, the San Francisco 49ers are in Santa Clara or Santa Barbara, wherever they are. Oh, well, the Dallas Cowboys are actually in whatever. Like, I don't care. I truly don't care. Like, you have the Tennessee Titans. They're in Nashville. They don't have to be called the Nashville Titans. But if you're the Tennessee Titans and you're in Georgia, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I know you probably had that with the New York Giants because they might be in New Jersey. I don't know. But either way, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't support that. I don't want to hear anything about that, especially with given our history. And I know the Decatur and all that stuff. That's fine. I don't care. Chicago Bears are the Chicago Bears. Like, outside of the economy and everything of what the Bears and most of our teams mean to the city, and just, you know, how Chicago people are about being from Chicago, outside of all that, like, you're in Illinois. Going across state lines is a whole different thing. And so I don't want to hear that. Like, it's not Chicago. It's not Illinois. It's Indiana. And we live in a very different fan, you know, I guess, world where people don't really rock with teams as much as they used to. And I don't mean by and large, but just in general. So the majority of people are still very hometown homers. But, you know, we got internet and stuff. People are fans of players, especially in basketball. They don't even really rep their teams for real. And you see some people do that in football, like all these random I'm a Ravens fan. Well, really, I'm a Lamar fan. Like, get out of here, bro. So you get all types of stuff like that. But then on top of that, you know, like I said, with the internet, people were more transient. People move a lot more, and people follow people a lot more, and they get invested a lot more. So you got all these random Chiefs fans because of Taylor Swift. So it's just not the same loyal to the soil mentality. But that's where I come from, man. I'm Chicago everything till it die. Like whenever people would ask me, because I didn't get heavy into sports. I mean, I watch football, but I didn't get heavy into sports until probably college. And that's just me. I got a strong hometown mentality. So when I got to college and started meeting people from all these other places that weren't from Chicago, it was new to me. And, you know, even people in Southern Illinois, a lot of them are St. Louis Cardinal fans, or they were Rams fans back then. I'm like, no, absolutely not. It's Chicago. Don't ask me. I never seen hockey a day in my life. I'm a Blackhawks fan. Like, I'm a Chicago fan. And so it rubs me the wrong way. So if you heard me talk before, it's not a shock to you how I feel about this. I think it would be an absolute catastrophe. And it'd be terrible on all fronts. It would be the worst mistake in the Chicago Bears history. And I know we want to talk about Mahomes and Trubisky, Deshaun Watson. We know what Massage Watson does. And we all know Mahomes would not be Mahomes with us. But either way, even on top of that, this would be the worst mistake in franchise history. And I don't think that's being over dramatic. Like, yeah, if you're sitting in California or you're sitting in Oklahoma and you're like, hey, my Bears gear that I order from Fanatics going to look the same every year. Sure. Okay. Might not mean too much to you, but I think for the city, for like the hardcore fans, from people from the city, like, bro, it's insane. Like, you could come back to Decatur. You could come down here to Bloomington. You could be in Alton, Illinois, on the tip of Illinois and Missouri. But going across a state line is so insane to me, to then sit here and say you're the Chicago Bears, but you're in Indiana. What are you talking about? So I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it short. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I do think about, like, okay, well, if this did happen, like, I'm be honest, as I sit here today, and this is legit how I feel, I would question my fandom. I question my fandom because I didn't fall in love with Walter Payton. I didn't fall in love with Urlacher or the 85 Bears. I fall in love with my city on TV. And this would not be my city. This wouldn't even be close. This would be a whole difference. This would be Indiana. And I'm very familiar with it. Got, a lot of love for Northwest Indiana. This would not be the Chicago Bears. And essentially, Illinois literally would not have a football team. And that's insane to me. So that's how I feel about it, man. Go to the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Share it around. Get the convo started. Thumbs up, subscribe. And remember, stay up and bear down for now.